Hi, honeys, and welcome back to another episode of Girl Do It For You. I feel like I've touched on this multiple times before, but it's something that I've been thinking about a lot lately, so we're going to touch on it again. Um, I have really been trying to slow down with life and things and just everything in general. I feel like I am always go, go, go. I feel like life is flying by. I feel like I'm missing things. And honestly, I don't know why I'm in that kind of place where I am go, go, go. Like, I have literally no reason to be so fast paced. Like, why? You ever look at yourself or just take a minute and think why you do certain things? That has been me with this whole mind situation, I guess. So I have just always been, and I've spoken about this before, like I have my planner, I have my timeline, I have to know how things are going, like every second of the day, and everything is planned out, right? But I don't understand why I rush things, and I think it is because I put myself on such a time scale and a time crunch. So, like, for example, when I come home from work, I get off at 5, I come home, I walk my dogs, and then I either record an episode or I edit or I make a TikTok or I clean or I do something, but I'm always doing something, right? And that's not the point of the episode, but my husband gets off at 5 as well, but he works an hour away. So I have extra time before he comes home, and I always feel like I have to rush from this, like, until, like, I have to do all these things before he comes home. But it's like, why? Like, I could do these things when he's home. I can record an episode when he's here. He sits in the other room. I can make my TikToks when he's here. I can clean when he's here. Like, why? I don't know why I rush myself. And I think it's maybe a little bit because I want to spend time with him when he comes home. But he doesn't always want to hang out with me immediately when he comes home because he wants to chill from the day and he wants to sit on the couch on his phone. And so, like, I could have time to do my thing anyway. But I always just have myself in such a rush, and I just, I really want to slow down because the days are literally flying by out of nowhere. I literally, like, when I come in, like, I am rushing home from work driving. Like, rushing home to what? Like, yeah, I'm so excited to come home to my dogs, but, like, why rush? Like, I'm gonna get there when I get there, and then I come out and I'm like out the car immediately, like, grab my things, up the stairs quickly, walk the dogs quick, inside, start doing stuff, and I want to try and break that cycle with myself, but it's so difficult. Like, I don't know why I am so go, go, go. And I just try to get as much done out of my day, I think. And it's like, it's okay if things carry over to the next day. It's okay if I don't get everything done in one single day. Like, there's only 24 hours in a day. I have to sleep, I have to work, and I have to make myself food and take care of my dogs. So if I can't get to everything else extra that day, the world isn't going to end if I don't clean my floors. And I think that's something that the stressor I need to take off of myself. I probably won't ever, but it's one of the things I am working on and slowing down on life because what's the rush? Like, honestly, why am I rushing? To what? Get to my next chore? Rushing through the day to what? Get to the next day to go to work? To just get to the weekend every time? Like, then the weekends fly by and we're back at work. Like, it's a constant cycle. And I don't have the influencer life that you see online, like all of that. Like, I work a 9 to 5. It's not very glamorous. And I get 2 days off a week and that's it. I'm just like the most basic person ever. Like, I also think I tend to get caught up with the social media, seeing everyone else's life. And, people are jetting here, jetting there, doing this, doing that. And that's fabulous. That's great for them. But that's not my life. Like I said, I work a 9 to 5. I am not jetting around the world. I am not traveling for work. I am not influencing for work as much as I would absolutely love to have the podcast and not work a 9 to 5 because it's just not for me. That's what I have to do right now because that's what I have to do to pay the bills. And it's not glamorous, it's not pretty, it's not fun, it's not everything you see on social media is not real life. And I think that comparing myself to that and trying to keep up with the Jonesies is just not realistic. And I think I put such pressure on myself to be so fast paced and oh, your content has to be of a higher standard, which fair, I want to give you guys good quality episodes. I want to give you guys good content. However, my life isn't, I don't live in a mansion with the best of the best things and the newest and greatest things ever. Like, don't get me wrong, I have a very nice apartment and I have a very good life, but it is not what you see on social media. And a lot of the time when I'm making content for you guys or I'm just posting on an Instagram story, I feel like if it's not up to a certain standard or aesthetic, that oh, I can't post that because it's not aesthetically pleasing or nobody's gonna like it. Like, who cares actually? Why does everything have to be aesthetically pleasing? Why don't I just post things for me and because I like it? You know, like, why does it have to be this standard of everyone has to have this mansion and the high ceilings and the just everything? I don't even know. The neutral colors for things are like what's trendy, and I can't keep up with the new trends every fucking week, to be completely honest with you. Like, I simply cannot. And I think I want to make my content more genuine and authentic and me and just like realistic. Like, I did start a series on TikTok that it's just cooking for dinner what I've got in the fridge, and it's so basic and it's not glamorous at all. It's here's what I have and here's how I make it. And when I was editing it, I was like, I'm not making this glitz and glammy and having to have the newest pots when I'm using it. And you know how people have those seasoning jars that you can like change your spices into that you buy on Amazon? Like, I never got into that because one, I was like, I don't have the energy for this, and two, I quite think it's a waste of time, quite frankly. But I was like, I don't want to post my seasonings like in this, like I have to put it in a container. And then I just like, why does that matter? Like, I'm literally cooking dinner for me and my husband. Why does it matter? So like stuff like that, I get myself so caught and wrapped up in the social media of it, and it's hard to not because it really consumes your life. But I think that is part of me trying to slow down and just put my phone down more and like live my life for like me and do what makes me happy and my husband and just push through life that way, you know? Like, I don't know. I just, the fast pace, go, 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 life doesn't have to be like that. And I think it's crazy that I am the way that I am with that because my husband is quite polar opposite of me for that. And I think, you know, opposites attract. And I think it balances us because he's so laid back, go with the flow, doesn't care. Like yesterday, TMI, but was the first day of my period, right? So I was exhausted. I didn't want to do anything. I was in pain. I didn't feel very great. I was just a mess, right? I came home and I laid on the couch. I usually cook dinner for the both of us every night. I didn't cook dinner. I didn't want to. We called in Chinese and we watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians until 10 o'clock at night. And he came home and he was like, all right, this is what we're doing. We're rotting on the couch. We're rotting on the couch. And just joined right in. And I was like, I don't want to cook dinner. And he was like, okay, we'll just call in food. What do you want? Like, he's so just like, okay. Whereas if that was me and I came home and he was having a bad day and he wanted to lay on the couch, I'd be like, okay, that's great. Like, I'm like, you know, I'm sorry you don't feel good. You lay on the couch and you do you. I'm going to go do my list of chores. Like, I couldn't just sit and relax with him. I mean, if he asked, of course I would. But like, I didn't even ask him to come relax, and he was just like, oh, okay, I'll come relax with you. And it was nice, but it's like, why can't I just sit down and chill for 5 seconds? And even he was like, didn't that feel good? And I was like, no, I feel like I could have recorded an episode, I could have cleaned the floors, I could have cooked dinner, and we didn't have to spend money. But it was like, I don't know, it's not the end of the world if you take a break. But for me, I just feel like the hustle and bustle, like I have to be doing something, and it's so chaotic. And I think, I don't actually know. why I do that the way that I do. I thought I had an epiphany just now where I was like, oh, I think I know why I do that. I really don't know why I am the way that I am, but I was just sitting at work today and I honestly, it was like 2 o'clock. And in my head, I was like, oh, I can't wait to go home and do this. And oh, I can't wait to go home and do this. And blah, blah. And then I'm like, why? Like, you're at work. Let's get through work and then let's do the next thing. What's the next thing? You're driving home. What's the next thing? I'm going to record a podcast. But like, when it happens, I'll get to it. And even on my way home, I was like, okay, let's take it slow. Let's just, and I feel like it's a nervous system thing. Like, you have to like rework your nervous system, because when I think of slowing things down, like, this is gonna sound probably a little chaotic, but like my whole body just kind of like I take a breath and I'm like, okay, this is what I'm gonna work on now, and this is what I'm gonna work on now, and this, and I don't know why I'm so go 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 go, but I am really really trying to not be, because I think it would really help with my stress levels. I think it would be good, but it's hard to rewire your brain. It's hard to change how you think of things and how you look at things and life and how you handle it. And it's not bad, but it's difficult, and it's good to like rewire yourself like that, because I do think we should all slow down sometimes and just enjoy where we are. Like, I am flying through life and I'm missing the moments that I've always wanted to be in. The moments that I dreamed of. I dreamed of being married. I dreamed of having a 9 to 5 job with a husband and my dogs that I come home to and my house. And it's flying by and I'm letting it, because I'm just so caught up in doing this and doing that, and I don't keeping up with the Jonesies and making sure that my videos are aesthetically pleasing and putting so much effort into a photo for social media. Like, why? Like, it used to be such a thing that if your Instagram didn't have like a theme, nobody wanted to look at it. And not too long ago, me and my sister-in-law were actually sitting down to look at the podcast Instagram, because I was like, why is my podcast, like, it's not really taking off like I would like. I'm not really sure what I'm doing wrong. And my sister-in-law has a lot of background in social media. And so she was like kind of giving me tips and trips. And I was like, okay, like, I'm promoting this way and this is what I should be doing. Like, it was great. And she was like, well, let's look at your Instagram and let's look at other podcasters' Instagram and see what we're doing wrong. And it was like everybody had a certain aesthetic for how things looked. And I don't even know if it was an intentional aesthetic, but it was like all of their stuff, they were filmed in the same place, and that was the one thing that was the same. So it was like familiarity. No, I don't know the word, but it was like similar, like they were similar, and all the videos were filmed in the same place. So when you saw it, it was like your brain was like, oh yeah, this is so and so's podcast, because this is, yeah, let's see what she's talking about today, you know. And it made sense when she said that. And I was so busy on mine trying to create a perfect cover photo for every episode that I posted on not TikTok, on Instagram. Like, you know, you can put the little cover. I was so focused on that and making that aesthetically pleasing, and it was like throwing off the whole thing. Now, I've only been testing this theory of not doing that and just recording and posting for like a week, so we're not seeing too many results. But I was like, I've been trying so hard to make everything look aesthetically pleasing instead of just posting the content. Like, just post it. Because I wouldn't post if I didn't have a good cover. And why? Like, just post it. It's never going to get seen if you don't ever post it. So now I've started scheduling stuff. I've started just posting everything to see how it goes. Because why not? Literally, why the heck not? It literally doesn't matter. I have recently found some creators on TikTok that have made me feel valid in this feeling that I don't have to fit in. Sam on TikTok is this stay-at-home mum of two who is just so real and so raw, and she shows her house in the ugly stages, and she is just honest in the fact that, like, she's a stay-at-home mum of two, and like she can't afford to go out to Target and spend hundreds of dollars on the newest and greatest things, or get a Starbucks coffee every day, because you know those people that say, I need to get a little treat every time I leave my house and it won't break the bank. And you deserve the $5 coffee, because you have the people that are like, if you saved every $5 coffee, you could buy this house, and realistically you couldn't. So there's people that are like, get the treat. Like, I always am like, yeah, actually get the treat, get the coffee because they said they can do it, so we can do it because you're not going to buy a house anyway. But it's like, I can't even afford the little treat. And I was like, this, what am I doing wrong? And then I come across Sam on TikTok and I'm like, okay, so like, it just makes you feel normal that like, it's okay to make coffee at home. It's okay to just take your coffee with you. It's okay to pack a lunch and not eat out every single day. It's okay to do the little things and DIY things and buy things from thrift shops and Facebook Marketplace and garage sales. Like, it's okay to live within your means and not try to live for other people just to have an aesthetic. And I find myself really struggling with that. And I'm like, I can't afford these things. Like, I can afford to live my life well if I budget and I do this and I do that. But I'm not like all these people that I see on TikTok who come from money, who are influencers and are getting paid thousands of dollars a week. Like, that's not my life. I can't afford to buy expensive designer bags or brand new furniture and all of this stuff all of the time. Like, that's just not realistic. And I think, the social media aspect really takes a toll on your life, and it like pushes me to want to earn more money and do all of these things, which is great. Like, you should always want to push yourself, but I don't have to have those things to have a good life. Like, that's so materialistic, and I understand that, but you get so caught up and wrapped up in social media and everything, and it consumes you because, oh, I like hair trends. People change their hair because of a trend and then realize it's not so easy to change back. Don't get me wrong, I almost felt guilty to the cowboy copper. I do love the red hair, but realistically for me, I can't go dye my hair right now. Like, one, I can't afford that. And two, what if I hate it? I can't afford to then get it taken back 2 weeks later. Like, that is so expensive. And if you can, great. I'm so happy. But I think it's like a little realization that I had to have with myself and just slow down and really enjoy where I am and take advantage of, like, I have a good life. I do. And I feel like I have to remind myself of the little things that I have. And, I have my little Peach, my little Nuggie. I got Winston. I have my husband. Like, there's so many things that are small and underappreciated that make life good. And just because you don't have the newest, fanciest thing doesn't mean you're not having a good life. But trying to keep up with the hustle and bustle of influencing and belittling myself because my podcast isn't taking off like everybody else's isn't going to help it take off, for one. Isn't going to do me any good if I'm just sitting here sulking. Like, it's difficult and everything takes time and work, but like, just because my life doesn't look like everybody else's and my podcast didn't take off as quickly and I'm still trying to work on it, like, doesn't mean I should give up and doesn't mean I don't have a good podcast. Doesn't mean I don't have a good life. Like, it is what it is. I love doing the podcast. It brings me so much joy to sit here every week with my little microphone and just shoot the shit and chit chat with you guys. Like, this is literally, it makes me so happy. And to have people on and all of that. So even if I have one listener, even if I have one viewer on YouTube, like, I'm just happy because this brings me joy. It brings me so much joy to just sit here and talk. And I don't even know. And I know my episodes lately have been quite short, but I'm going to get back into better quality for you guys. But I am trying to just, I don't know, figure out life and go through life and share my life experiences with you guys, because life can suck and life can be so hard. And it's nice to know you're not alone. And like I said, when I found Sam on TikTok, like, she's now my comfort creator. Like, I love watching her just be honest and real and show that life doesn't have to be crazily, I don't even know all the words anymore, but so I hope like at least one person out there can relate to me, because that would just warm my heart. But it made me so happy to find that creator and just know that there are normal people like me out there that we're just all trying to get by. We're all just trying to figure out life, and we're all just trying to make a dollar where we can. And not everyone has to have a glamorous life to have a good life. Yeah, I life has been lifing lately. A lot has been happening. I've had to go home a couple times and it's been hard. been hard, but we're going to get through it like we always do. Podcast is back, and yeah, life's just life sometimes, and when it hands you lemons, you got to make lemonade, and you got to do what you can with situations, and you have to learn that you don't have control over a lot of situations, which is scary for someone like me, but you can't control everything and anyone and people's actions and what people do and how people treat you, and you just have to roll with the punches and learn how to move on and learn how to live your life with things and figure it out from there, I guess. I don't know. I know that was very vague, and I know you guys are probably very confused, but it's not something I want to talk about on here because it's not what the podcast is for. I'm just going through some things, but everything will work out because it always does. Everything will be okay, and I'll be fine. So, yeah. But anyways, that is my 2 cents on that. Yes, Peaches, what do you think? To be a dog. But I love you, honeys, and I will see you guys next Friday. Bye, honeys.